Yeah. First of all, fans, unbelievable tonight with the delay at the beginning, their energy throughout the course of the game. Appreciate them, our student body section, the whole deal. So thank you to them. A win, absolutely. Do we need to be a whole lot better? Yes, absolutely. In particular, offensively, there's some things that we control. Give credit to them too. They played well. They played hard, and they forced us into turnovers or created negative plays. At the end of the day, there's a lot of things that we can look at them in the mirror, watch the video, and we have to take another step on the offensive side of the football. Some positive things on special teams, and thought defensively, a lot of positives. We're out there on the football field too much, certainly at the end of the ball game or by the end of the ball game. So I'll open it up with questions.
Adam and Patrick.
Josh, you said you guys struggled in some areas. How do you want your team to respond to this game? How do you want them to react to how they played today?
Listen, the job for us is to be the best football team on the field every Saturday. You walk off the field and you see the scoreboard, and you either accomplished that goal or you didn't. We got to come back in. We got to learn, reset, and grow from it. Certainly, as we head into conference play, we're going to need to be better than we were tonight. Are we capable of doing those things? Yeah, absolutely. They're really small things. Some of our wide things at wideout, we've seen those guys operate, function, and handle all that at a really high level. So, urgency in how we come back tomorrow afternoon and on Monday, I think it is absolutely critical for us. I'll say this: I didn't feel like we were unfocused last week. We got to take strides. Obviously, the environment will be a good one next week, and a good quality opponent.
Josh, the passing game looked like it was a lot of short stuff, quick stuff. Was that what
some of it?
Was it Joe? Was it the receivers dropping the pass earlier? Or was it what they were doing defensively?
There's a combination. There's times where we were pushing it down the field. We were a little bit off. In particular, early in the football game, there's some things situationally where we were off. Joe, wide receiver, combination of both things where we're just not in sync in some critical situations. Third down, we got to be better than we were tonight. You got to be able to sustain drives, and you got to score points in the red zone. Turnovers, not getting a fourth down. There's a lot of things. The penalties there that took us out of those field zones. So there's a lot of things that we can control and do at a higher level.
David?
Josh, you hear the adage of improving the most from your first to second game. Were you surprised that you didn't see more improvement? And was there an area, too, that maybe you can definitely – I know you hadn't looked at the tape yet, but you can definitely say we were better than this last week?
There's some things that we did really well tonight. You look at defensively after the first series, there's some real positive things. Offensively, efficiency and effectiveness, right? Like it takes 11 guys operating as one. And there were times tonight where we're two guys off, and that's how it ends up looking a little bit like it did tonight. I believe in our guys, believe in our staff, believe in what we're doing. We'll continue to get better.
Ben?
Josh, some of your receivers were held out here and there throughout fall camp. Do you feel like maybe that's contributed to a slow start these first two games for them?
I don't necessarily believe that. I feel like we've been really effective and been on the same page at times during the course of training camp, and we're just a little bit off here, in particular early in the ball game. We got to do a better job of settling into the game early.
Right here.
So each of Jalen Wright and Jabari Small each got 13 carries a pop. Can you kind of speak to what that running back rotation was tonight and what you wanted to do?
Yeah, at the end of the day, you're going to see all three of those guys. You're going to see some of the run guys as our young guys as the season goes on. Inevitably, guys get nicked up, and believe in that entire room. But those three guys really feel strongly about. So you'll see them rotate.
David?
Aaron Beasley had 5 tackles for loss. Can you just talk about his performance?
Yeah, I thought he tackled extremely well. He was violent. I thought you saw his speed, athleticism on some of his pressures affected the quarterback. Had sack. Thought he played really well here tonight.
Austin?
Jeremiah Thielen got a ton of runs in the second half. Seemed like he was pretty active. Just kind of what you saw to him tonight, his first action.
Yeah, a guy that we have great trust in. That's athletic. He's going to continue to grow and develop as a young player, but believe that he can play at this level. And got out there and did some really positive things tonight.
Casey, then Ben.
Charles Campbell comes out, Tennessee guy, first field goal of him in the orange and white, not just gets one, but gets three. How exciting is that for you to watch him do that?
Yeah, a few more than we want him to get, but love Charles, and really confident guy. It matters to him. This opportunity matters a great deal to him and his family. He's a great teammate and really confident guy, and we're extremely confident in him too. So happy that he performed the way that he did, made a difference in the football game.
Josh Josephs would have had 2 sacks if you don't accept that penalty. Just what did you see?
Great, thank you. Thank you.
What did you see from him that allowed him to take a step from week 1 to week 2?
I'm definitely going to hear about that now. Listen, Josh has got length, athleticism, has continued to grow in who he is off of the field. His best football, man, it's still out there for him. We got great trust in him. Excited to see him come back and have a better day than he did a week ago. And that's the kind of growth that we need from everybody on our football team that we're capable of here as we continue to go through this journey, and certainly next week when we go to Gainesville.
Patrick, then Brent.
Josh, how did Joe kind of handle this start? Obviously, he didn't come out like you guys would have hoped, and I'm sure he would have hoped. How did you kind of see him handle things during the course of the game?
Yeah, I thought he was calm. I thought our sidelines in general were calm. We got to get into the flow of the football game, and that can be Joe, driving some of those dig routes. It can be us going up and making a difficult catch. It can be great ball security out on the perimeter. I haven't seen the video, but I guess we probably need to get our hands inside on some of the perimeter blocking too. So,
you mentioned, Coach. You mentioned the fans, being into it after the delay. How did you handle that with your team? How do you think your team handled it? And how do you coach your team to settle in to a game offensively?
The fans did a great job. How did we handle it? There's nothing that you can do other than, hey, here's the situation. Here's when the expected moment of when we feel like we're going to have an opportunity to go out. Here's what you need to do in the meantime because of an extended break, coming off the field. That's rolling out, it's hydration, it's fueling. And then here's the plan as we go out. And at the end of the day, it's nothing that you've practiced, right? And your players got to handle it in a good way. Your coaches do too. Thought we communicated what we were going to do in a good way. There's some things that we did really well early in the football game, but offensively, I don't think that's the reason that we didn't function as well as we're capable of early in the football game.
So how do you get them to settle in?
Well, it can be on us, making sure that we try to do some things specifically to get the personnel to fit in to the ball game early. Some of us, it's them, releasing some of that anxiety, energy, nervousness, whatever it might be, and settling in the game.
Rob, then Adam.
Coach, we spent pretty much all of August asking you about your pass rush. 2 weeks in, you get 7 sacks, a couple guys with 3 inches. Evaluate that for you.
Yeah, one of the areas that we've been intentional in having to address, that's some of the guys that have come in, and the development of those guys with Coach Garner, Coach Eckler, their ability to affect the game, not just on pressures, but the front four, and we've done that. Now we're going to go play a better opponent next week. We got to do that on the road. But for us to be successful defensively, we're going to need to continue to have that from those guys. And the depth of that group is a strength for us right now too.
Josh, it looked like having to do some pitch and catch on short passes just to get some rhythm in the passing game. Were the vertical shots there to take, if you could take them?
Some of the deep over-the-top shots were not, but there's some things in the middle of the football field that were wide open that we did not execute. Brew caught a nice deep dig in the second half on a drive where we got going. Those are things that were open early in the football game. There's some yard. No, we threw some of them too. We missed them on the throw. We dropped a couple, and we got a shot down the field, and we busted protection too. Offensive football and defensively too, but offensive football, you got to have 11 guys operate at a really high level and do their job. They got to operate as one, and we're capable of being better than we were tonight at that. But I got great trust and belief in these guys for sure.
Reese in the back, then Eric on the side.
How do you keep a guy like Ramel Keaton's head up and confidence up after the fumble when he was beating himself up pretty hard?
For me, one, like reset to the next play. We talk about that next play mentality all the time. Perfection in this game is never going to happen, individually and collectively as a football team. Have you seen Ramel make a bunch of plays out on that football field?
Yes.
Yeah, I have too, right? So he's fully capable. He'll be ready to roll here as we get going, but we got to get him there real quick, and not just him. All of our guys can settle into it. Listen, you work for something and you want something so much sometimes that, it can be a hindrance too. And our guys relaxing, enjoying the moment, and settling in the games where we got to get to.
On the night where the vertical passing game might not have been there the entire time, how good was it to see Brew McCoy really springing McAllen Castles at the end zone there?
Yeah, great screen. Callie does a great job on the run, keeps his balance, but Brew's effort, energy, strain, blocking the guy all the way to the goal line. Like that's who he is. That's who our fans, see. It's who his teammates see every single day. He's a great teammate.
Some of those holding penalties, could that be because the wide receivers are aggressive in trying to block?
Trying to make sure I don't do anything I'm not supposed to. So.
All right, thank you, Coach. We'll have players shortly.